Hello there, Commonwealth Ronnie. One of the most important upcoming Nintendo releases might be the game that changed everything long ago, and with it be the Zelda release of 2026. But first, it needs to be revealed, a moment that could happen in a Nintendo Direct, only days before the big Zelda 40th anniversary day. So why Ocarina and why now? Simply put, Nintendo has no greater remake to offer. Before Breath of the Wild, Ocarina of Time was the Zelda game that defined a generation, or to be true, the next 13 years of Zelda releases. Groundbreaking, ahead of its time, but most of all, balanced as it had a quick action-packed opening, great pacing, turning points, and a climax that is still among the best in the series. It's just that for many, the controls and gameplay of this 27-year-old classic are too outdated. Naturally, we have the 15-year-old overhaul from the launcher of the 3DS, but this one has still the same control and gameplay issues that only a final remake can fix. Fortunately, in 2025, we got new hope from Nash Whedel, who already in May was pointing to an Ocarina Triforce. A remake that has been in development for quite some time, Nintendo themselves are in charge of it, but also, it will take some time before it is revealed and released. And this is the thing. Zelda remakes A. always leak long before they are revealed, and B. release less than a year after said reveal. In fact, we have solid 15+ year evidence for this claim. Ocarina 3D revealed at E3 2010 was released June 20 the next year. The Wind Waker HD revealed in January 2013 was out on the Wii U September the same year. Majora's Mask 3D revealed in November 2014 and released 3 months later in February 2015 with the new 3DS. Twilight Princess HD, again a November reveal, was out in March 2016, right after Zelda's 30th anniversary started. Link's Awakening revealed in February and was on our Switches in September 2019. Same with Skyward Sword, revealed right before the 35th anniversary in February 2021 and released in July the same year. Either way, this project, if revealed around the 40th anniversary month of the Zelda series, would change literally everything, just like the original version did in 1998. First of all, it will signal a new beginning for 3D remakes, turning them from a straight line into a cycle, something that isn't foreign to Zelda, as we have already seen the remake of Link's Awakening during the Switch generations. Secondly, we cannot get away from it, a remake of this game will be the best looking Zelda, that goes without a shadow of a doubt. A new art style, giving us a first taste of the true power of the Nintendo Switch 2, since the next Zelda game is yet to be revealed and released years from now. Yes, Eiji Aonuma, who started his Zelda journey with Ocarina on the N64, joked that he wished the next Zelda game launched before Hyrule Warriors' Age of Imprisonment. Still, we know full well how long these take to develop from 2023, and with a new 2D Zelda as late as 2024, any brand new Zelda game is likely at the soonest coming in 2027. And with a new Hyrule Warriors just out, a new one is also years away. What does this mean? Remakes will carry us to the new Zeldas. Plus we know that there's untapped development potential. Not in Tokyo where Grezzo is working on the next 2D Zelda project, but instead in Kyoto, since Nash Whedel has been claiming that Ocarina of Time remake is under development and that Nintendo is behind it. As such, could there be a newly established second Kyoto Zelda team that will not be confirmed or denied until a reveal or even release? It is definitely a possibility, and one that could be prepped for bigger things, smaller 3D, to fit in the middle between the Grezzo 2D and open-air original in-house Nintendo Zelda games. And to be fair, that would be the best thing to happen for the franchise's future, satisfying all parts of the fanbase as we have suggested since Zelda's 35th anniversary in 2021, as the true goal of an Ocarina remake could and should be to have brand new Zelda games in the Ocarina of Time style, but not these coming at the expense of open-air Zelda. Instead, allow this Zelda to have its own development team, which is only supported by series producer Eiji Aonuma and the key members of the original Zelda team. Right here's how everyone is pleased, as we have a cycle of all the Zelda games that different parts of our fanbase enjoys. The top line to the originals, or their Link to the Past fanbase section, the linear story-driven and dungeon-excelling linear 3D games, or Ocarina of Time fanbase section, and finally the opener that currently makes up the majority of the players. With this arrangement, everyone wins, but first we need that Ocarina reveal. hopefully soon to confirm this possible debut Zelda development team. Not from outside, so Capcom, Zreo, or Koei Tecmo, but within Nintendo, or at least owned by Nintendo. And that is the true impact that we could see here, as Monolith of Kyoto could finally get a project of their own, allowing them both to create on their own and support the Zelda team of Eiji Aonuma and Hidemaru Fujibayashi, a happier development team that the link between Monolith of Kyoto and Nintendo has been hinting at. Quote, Monolithsoft is a strong partner in creating Zelda games from scratch, so I would like them to take on more and more core parts of the franchise. Based on the know-how we have cultivated through working together until now, let's further raise the team strength of Monolithsoft as a whole and continue to create unique series titles together. End quote. If this is true, then 2026 could mark the rise of a new independent star, just like we saw with Zreo in 2011, only this time in Zelda's native home, Kyoto. Though starting with a new game without doing a smaller project beforehand is too risky. Hence the final Ocarina of Time remake. Clear boundaries, but also room to play, as I'm just about to illustrate. Fortunately for Nintendo, the Zelda team and potentially Monolithsoft, multiple of their best Japanese partners like Capcom and Square Enix have already shown the way, both on how to do it and what traps to avoid. Most of all, giving a new worthy visual identity to a timeless classic. We already have the Zreo style, but it is aging and not even a Miitopia treatment of this can do it justice on the Nintendo Switch 2. To create real hype, something on the level of Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate is required. Not ultra realism, but a new approach to the art style from top to bottom. In other words, make it a worthy celebration of the original third-dimensional Zelda. Unreal Engine 5, as we have seen from Cryzenix and Yianni Papazis, or an entirely new game engine would work well for the future of the Hero of Time, since the timeline has one 3D gap that could be filled after this remake, and potentially a Majora's Mask remake. The third and final Hero of Time game, set in the same Hyrule that this remake might expand in size, and with added content compared to the N64 and 3DS versions of Ocarina of Time. So in a way, something that in size is between the original and the Hyrule field found in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Same goes for Castletown, which has never been a full setting, just backdrops. Well, now, in an era where the Hero of the Wild can both jump and climb, this location will be the perfect urban playground for the Hero of Time. A more manageable version to handle compared to the one that was burned down before we could control Link in Breath. Plus, with Monolith of Kyoto adding new minigames and writing new side quests in the town and around, we have a child section that is just as good as the adult section. A fully explorable 3D space, which demonstrates that last added dual analog camera controls before even reaching the second dungeon in the game. Now that is how you usher in a new decade of this franchise, by making Ocarina new again, or Mona if you will, expanding the story and lore, adding new locations and overhauling existing ones, like for instance the Temple of Time, plus improving controls. Still, what would make a February Zelda 40 reveal above anything the last 10 years, apart from reveals of brand new games, then it will be the completion of the Ocarina Temple Circle, all by restoring the Light Temple. Think of it the same way as the DX version added and an HD version of Link's Awakening kept the Color Dungeon. A Hero of Time temple that wasn't in the original version of the game or the 3DS transformation. Right here, we have a story change that is as bright as it gets. No light medallion until you free the temple from Ganondorf's clutches. Then you could have the medallions from him and the other sages actually do something by granting new abilities to the Hero of Time, just like the medallions in A Link to the Past and the secret stones in Tears of the Kingdom did. Perfect potential for Nintendo or Monolith Kyoto to make Ocarina feel new again, even more so than we saw with the 3DS version from Zreo. Speaking of, its Boss Rush Challenge and Master Quest would also be welcome to return, though the later in an overhauled Hyrule might be cut in order to achieve the goal of an Ocarina that is as new as possible. The list is long, as there's so much cut content that can be included to bring Ocarina closer to the gameplay experience that we have gotten comfortable with in Breath and Tears, like allowing for more colored tunics, so black, white and yellow, new songs for the Ocarina, Sword Beam, and Sword and Shield horseback combat. All things that would make Ocarina new again, and the perfect Zelda 40th anniversary title, and an easy 10+ million copies candidate. But what do you think of the possibilities of a reveal of the final version of Ocarina of Time in the next Nintendo Direct? Sound off in the comment section down below. If you haven't already, then be sure to leave a like, subscribe and press the notification bell. Last but not least, a big thanks to you for watching and to all our patreon.com/commonrealm patrons. Special shoutouts go to raw producer Jonathan and heroes Cheryl, Garrett Hoy, Holly Wolf and Gintaro. You all rock, and please enjoy these awesome videos.